That girl, that Miss Rita, when come and say things dey expensive, she no lie. That woman, when you say you take government because you dey see money, big money, take say your helps market. No mean say people when they cry every day for social media, they don't know what they do.
When things are not working, we do what? We call on our leaders. President Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Your tenure.
My father died because there was no bed in a government hospital.
Then, with regards to the discipline you're talking about in the NYSC, there's no point of the NYSC Act that says that Nigerians cannot complain if they are facing hardship. President Tinubu had announced that coppers are supposed to receive 77,000 naira per month after he increased salaries of workers, even though that is peonage. It's too small.
So guys, the 30 days rant challenge, has continued to trigger a lot of reaction in Nigeria. What all these politicians need is you people to talk. Like, once you start talking, I promise you it will yield results. Ryan just spoke for millions of Nigerians who are living in depression, who are struggling in this economy that Tinubu and APC has put us in. And trust me, everything she said is absolutely correct. Tinubu is a terrible president. There's no lie about that. Because since we grew up, and aside that, I love the fact that well-meaning Nigerians, celebrities and elites are reacting in a very beautiful way, supporting this whole thing. Peter Obi wrote, and I'm going to read it for you. The National Youth Corps member, Usherita Uwamaye, also known as Raye, recently had an experience that highlights a troubling trend in our nation. One where voices of reason and truth are met with intimidation rather than dialogue and engagement. Reports indicate that she has faced threats from NYSC officials simply for expressing her concerns about the current administration. The pattern is not isolated. I too have been subjected to threats for daring to offer constructive suggestions and comments. I now face daily intimidation, harassment, and name-calling simply for expressing solution-based views on government policies. The note is long, so you could visit Peter Obi's page to just read it. But this is just one of it. So a Nigerian celebrity, Mr. Macaroni, also reacted to this. And in his reaction, I honestly love it. Mr. Macaroni said, to the DG, coordinators, and every official of the NYSC, you cannot threaten, intimidate, or victimize any copper for expressing their view on the performance of the president. They are citizens with rights. The president is in office to serve the people and every Nigerian, copper or not, has the right to hold their leaders accountable. So I feel like this rant challenge I'm seeing everywhere. Guys, I'm going to play it for you. All Nigerian youths are talking. I'm super excited for this moment. It's a very beautiful moment to be alive. When Nigerians are tired of corrupt leaders, tired of bad leaders, tired of people who go into office just to enrich themselves and their families. Do you know that some of their children don't even know what is going on? So when they see people, Nigerians ranting like this, they'll start wondering, are these people, what is going on? They do not know that their fathers, their parents are the ones putting Nigerians in severe hardship. Anyway, guys, that's not just the comment. Like, there are other comments. Even Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president of Nigeria, wrote and said, Raye embodies the spirit of a new generation of women who champion the ideals of popular participation and unwavering advocacy in political sphere. I deeply admire her boldness and wisdom, her fearless resolve to speak truth to power. Underrated by the weight of opposition, she follows in the footsteps of formidable trailblazers like Gambo Sawaba, Fumi Lion, Ransom Kuti, Margaret Ekpo, and countless other women who have stood resolute in defense of common good. These stories are just long, but trust me, these are just it. And to be honest, there are people who are also criticizing all this, speaking up as a Nigerian. And I'm like, this thing that some people are just destined let me not use abusive word, but there are people that are destined to grow and die in sufferhead. They will be suffering and smiling, crying in their pillows in the night. When they come out, they tell you everything is okay. Everything is not okay in Nigeria. Nigerians cannot feed. Cost of fuel is terrible. People cannot transport. Cost of living is high. Food is very expensive. Everything is very expensive. So the rant has to continue. The only thing you as a Nigerian is left with is your voice. Don't get depressed. Don't unalive yourself, because we've heard stories of people unaliving themselves because of the hardship. Talk, speak your truth. At least posterity will judge you, because when you were in this country, when you were alive, when you lived your life, you spoke the truth. And trust me, when many of us continue to hold our leaders accountable, these folks are going to do the right thing, because folks don't really care about nobody. Like, they don't care about us. They're just there living their life, chopping life, buying private jets, and coming to the Senate House to tell you, oh, everything is fine. You cannot use government money to build this, to build that. But I won't even go into that. But trust me, the rant is working. So guys, let's continue making it. Listen to some of our Nigerians who are in the same shoes with us, speaking it as it is.
There are all those people that it is their generation that put us in this place where we are. Maybe if they were talking in their generation, maybe Nigeria would not be like this. But I can beat my chest to tell you that person wear collar, there's no way that person is not corrupt. Because as a board member, let's start with the money that was promised to the NYSC coppers. Are you sure you are not part of the people that collected part of that money and kept quiet? The government have approved that they increase the allowance of coppers from 33,000 to 70 something thousand, I'll be 70,000. Up to now, after the approval, they've not given those coppers that money.
When things are not working, we do what? We call on our leaders. President Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Your tenure is bad. We've never had it this worse in Nigeria, in the history of Nigeria. We never had it this worse. Forget say, I am a Yoruba man. Omo Yoruba ni me. This one not be saying na Igbo guy they contest, na complain. We are all complaining. We are suffering in this country. All of us are suffering. President Tinubu, you are a terrible president. You are the worst president we've ever had since the First Republic. You are the worst we've ever had. Nigerians we are literally working hard. Then the money as it is coming is going straight away into bills. We are living and feeding from hand to mouth. We've never had it this worse in Nigeria. And to those of you trying to support the president because of your bigotry, saying yes, it's not the worst, it's this and that, then trying to say the guy does not need the great effect. All of you are stupid. Are you guys not suffering? The suffer, you know the rich now. President Tinubu, you are a terrible president.
My father died because there was no bed in a government hospital. My father died because there was no bed in a government hospital. He was rushed to 3 different hospitals on emergency before he died. The first hospital said they were not equipped enough to attend to him. The second hospital said there was no bed. On the way to the third hospital, he died on the road. In his country, his home country. Nigeria failed my father. I became fatherless because of Nigeria. My mother became husbandless because of Nigeria. Health system, job market, terrible economy, inflation, bad roads, insecurity. All these problems happening in one country. And the only problem you have is a young lady being able to afford 1 crate of egg. A young lady. As far as you are concerned, she doesn't have the right to complain about the government because she's still able to afford a crate of egg, because she's still able to go out with her friends to hang out. At what point do we start asking for more? At what point do we start coming out to speak for ourselves? At what point do we start demanding that our government actually care about us? That's the minimum, the bare minimum that they can do. Care about us as their people, as the people that they are serving, as a country. I just don't understand why it is so difficult to assimilate the fact that this is the only thing that the youths are asking for. The only thing.
That girl, that Miss Rita, when come and say things dey expensive, she no lie. That woman, when you say you dey government because you dey see money, big money, take say your helps market. No mean say people when no dey cry every day for social media, they don't know what that they do. We dey look unto God, make God they give us food every day. You get breast for chest as a woman. See, sorry for Nigeria women, things are expensive in the market. That small pikin just come and cry. Now that woman just sit down, they make noise. See almighty fish, 6,000 naira. Crayfish, this small one, 3,000. See small rice when I want for the children, 6,000. See yam, 4,500. See 4,000. Salt 1,500. Tomatoes and pepper 4,000. I bet so free mama the shame.
I know after this 30 days movement begins, the government will start sending the police, the soldier to go after people that made video about it, to arrest them, to intimidate them, to, But let me tell you something as a police officer and as a soldier. My dad served this country for 25 years. Currently now, he's still sick. He's down with stroke and brain damage. Guess what? The police department donated 10,000 naira to my dad. He's been down for 1 year. This illness has made us sell property. has made us sell land and everything. The government has done nothing about this. We have gone to his office to cry, to beg, but still yet nothing is being done. So before you go after the youth that is looking for a good government, that is looking for things to work, remember, if things work for us, it works for everyone. Because you are a police officer, you will not buy a cup of rice for 100 naira. It's the same 400 and 500 that we are buying that you will buy too. Because you are a thug, you are not going to buy a cup of rice for 100 naira. No, it's the same 200, it's the same 400 and 800 that you will use to buy. So before you start carrying out this exercise, go and look at the widows of the police officer that have died due to the course of duties. Go and look at the widows of the soldiers that died due to the course of their duties. There is no royalty. NHIS is a scam. NHIS covers only 40%, my darling. If you escape it as a parent, you have the money that is blocking your ear, you escape it, you die. Guess what? Your children will become prostitutes. Your sons will become thieves. Your children will become a victim, and your wife will become a victim of circumstances. Go and look at the widows before you start killing people on others, before you start arresting people. Go and look at the widows. Come and take a look at my dad's kids. They are all enraged. They are going astray. Because of what? A failed government. They said their dad has been working for this country for years, but nothing to show for it. The piece of land that he managed to buy, we have said it, to treat him, it has been sold. It has been sold. So before you start working on others, put your rifles down and say, help us, join us to shout. Join us to shout, join us to talk. We are begging you. Go and look at the widows of your colleagues. Go and look at the widows of your colleague. Go and look at them before you help Nigeria to know that that woman will be your wife. That will be the condition of your wife if you do not do the right thing. Continue doing yes, ma, yes, sir. Go and look at my siblings now. Go and look at the widows of those that have died. Go, of your colleagues that have died. Then come back and see if it is worth fighting for. It's time to start a movement.
I believe you all must have seen the trendy video of that core member where she was lamenting about the actual or current situation of the Nigeria's economy right now. So something just dawned on me when all these things are going around. I mean, everything she said was true. She was speaking facts. But I was like, you can choose to do 100, 001, whatever type of feeding. You can choose to even do 0000. It is going to be painful and unbearable. But then again, you might still survive. But there are some things that we don't talk about enough. There are some things that you don't even have choice. Like, you can't choose to have them or not have them. They're like billings that you must take care of. I remember buying pad at 230 naira, 180 naira, and 150. But now the lowest amount of pad you're going to get right now is over 2,500, 3,000 naira, 4,000. Vironi, we used to buy Vironi 600 naira, 700. Vironi is from like 480 now. Somebody even said she got Vironi pad for like 6,500 naira. So my question is, how is the average Nigerian coping when it comes to vaginal health, hygiene, and all of that? Now, there's something that you don't know, right? Most guys don't know this, right? We can't choose to take care of our period very well or be neat during our period. If you don't have a very strong or clean vaginal health, especially during period, a woman can be prone to infection. These are deadly infections that can lead to damages in her body system and even death. So, Barrister Street Foundation just announced its Part the Girl project today. And there was this comment I saw where someone was saying, ladies can have an alternative on how they can take care of themselves, but food is something that you can't do without. Everyone needs food. And I'm like, what is the other alternative to using pads? Or to actually blocking the blood? Or to actually taking care of yourself during this period? So there are like our girls out there, like, how are they coping? Those ones that sleep on the street, on the main road, like, how do they act when their period comes? How does the average girl on the streets, how does she get pad? Pad is over 1,500, 2,000, 3,500 right now. So how do they maintain vaginal health, vaginal care? How? Let's leave food aside, whether you like it or not, unless you are pregnant, you must see your period.
Told you to wait a bit longer. Who is the her? because as we know it, the NYSC has not officially responded to this matter, but we do know that Guamaye had a recording of a phone call with a female official. We don't know who that is.
Allegedly an NYSC official.
Yes. Do you have any clarification as to who this woman is and who is the her you're referring to? And let me also ask you, because some argue that corps members as participants in a government-run scheme, such as the Youth Service Corps, should refrain from political commentary as indicated in the NYSC bylaw of 2011 as amended. How do you respond to those who say this is just not about free speech, but discipline within the NYSC structure?
Well, let me state that the lady who was the local government inspector the person who was the local government inspector, the LGI who invited her, is a female, but we never met her. They said she has a deputy. We also met the lady who apparently called her on the phone and lambasted her and threatened her. But we opted not to engage with her because by the time we got there, she was very sober. I think they realized what they were up against. So there was no point. We focused on the business of the which was to meet the LGI, the local government inspector of the NYSC, who we believe absconded because she knew that this was not going to be a very nice Monday. Then, with regards to the discipline they're talking about in the NYSC, there's no point of the NYSC Act that says that Nigerians cannot complain if they are facing hardship. President Tinubu had announced that corpers are supposed to receive 77,000 naira per month after he increased salaries of workers, even though that is peonage, it's too small. But these corpers are still receiving 33,000 naira a month. To claim that there's one NYSC Act or discipline that says you can't complain, you can't say that things are terrible, it's just, as you know, an attempt to silence her. The NYSC Act, which is a decree promulgated in 1973 and amended by several military people, cannot supersede what is known universally as the right to free speech. She's expressing herself freely as guaranteed by international instruments. I don't generally like to refer to the Nigerian Constitution because that's an illegitimate document promulgated by the military. That's not the people's document. I've always said that on your shows. But, you know, she has her fundamental right to complain. And you can't, as it's normally said in Nigeria's general parlance, that you can't beat a baby up and ask the baby not to cry or pinch a baby and not allow her to cry. So there's no NYSC Act. I will tell you that the NYSC itself makes provision for political enlightenment groups as part of their community service. I don't know if they still exist, but when I was in NYSC, I did participate in political enlightenment of the populace. NYSC group, NYSC members are allowed to go and conduct elections.
So don't stop talking. Well, my name is Ifeka, and this is Stories on Thread with Ifeka. I am the voice of the truth. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Like, subscribe, and follow me for more.